Whether you miter your inside corners or cope them, or whether you use a coping foot, a coping saw, or a cope master, your miters have to be perfect or the joints won't be tight and flush. Here's a little trick I learned from Bill Shaw. The third time he explained it, I really got it. At least I think I did. First, when you position your crown at your miter saw, always be sure the bottom of the molding is flat and tight against the fence. The fence represents the wall. You want the molding tight against the wall. Sometimes the top won't sit down flat against the base of the saw, but that's okay. The molding is often back cut a little so the top and the bottom edges will touch the ceiling and the wall, even if the corner is out of square a few degrees. So don't be tempted to split the difference and rock the crown in the saw. That'll change the spring angle, unless you want to change the spring angle. Remember, the spring angle is determined by the bottom plumb cut shoulder, which must sit flat against the fence. Before fastening down a crown stop, you can also check that the miters are going to be the right length with a framing square. First, measure the projection or run of the crown. That's the distance from the wall, the fence, out to the front of the crown on the ceiling, which is the base of the saw. Now imagine that the crown is made from a solid piece of stock. Right. You'd never get it tight to the wall and the ceiling unless all the material on the back is cut out of the way. But if it were a single piece of stock and you cut a perfect miter right through it, the miter would create a 45-degree right triangle on the base of the saw. One of those measurements must be the distance from your fence to the front edge of the crown, in this case 3¼ inches. And even though most crown molding is back cut, you can still measure the second leg of the triangle with a framing square. Here, the second leg of the triangle measures 3½ inches. That's too long. I must have dropped the crown on the fence just below my pencil line when I cut it. Here, the measurement is 3⅛. That's too short. The miters won't be even, so the profiles will be mismatched by 1/8 inch. I must have raised the crown a little too much, just above my pencil line, and here, the second side of the triangle measures 3¼ inches. Perfect. If all the miters measure 3¼ inches, the copes will fit together like magic.